about how it highlights the role of commuter taxis and also the poor infrastructure for public transport. One of the issues, of course, is how different acts relate to each other, the Land Transport Act and the Road Traffic Management Act. Professor Mathetha Mokonyama is the Impact Manager at the Centre for the CSIR for Transport Systems and Operations. Professor Mokonyama, good evening to you and thank you for your time. We've seen so much conversation around these two acts. Are they in conflict with each other? Is one more important than the other? Are they supposed to actually regulate different things?
Good afternoon, Stephen. Not at all. They are actually very complementary, and one enhances the other. And we've got enough material in both acts to ensure that that the transport system is safe and it delivers what it needs to do.
Oh, I'm sure this issue is going to be debated in court to some extent. But the City of Cape Town says it's doing what it's doing, impounding taxis under the Land Transport Act, under the National Land Transport Act. The national government says it shouldn't be doing what it's doing. From what you understand, is the City of Cape Town actually on firm ground here, or do we need to wait for a judge to decide?
Well, this is founded in the Constitution. The provincial and national government have got the powers on traffic law enforcement regulations. That is not the competence of local government. I think the City of Cape Town is stretching themselves a bit. They shouldn't be doing that. In fact, there is enough in the Road Traffic Act that enables the city to make sure that the minibus taxi operators abide by the law. We just need to make sure that we prepare cases appropriately, work with law enforcement and of course the prosecutorial capability in the court to make sure that the cases succeed.
Underneath all of this is the real issue around transport policy. So Cape Town, like I think every other city almost in the country, really displays apartheid spatial geography. Poor people, most of them black, live in township areas. Rich people, most of them white, live near workplaces in the sort of suburbs. When we have, and this then gives the taxi industry a sort of virtual monopoly on moving people from one side to the other. Does this reflect a failure of public transport in Cape Town and other big cities?
Well, we have huge backlogs in South Africa, public transport backlogs, huge backlogs. So issues relating to energy, issues relating to the cost of transport. So the act that we have, National Land Transport Act, is supposed to enable, to empower local government, being one of the role players, to create sustainable transport systems. We have those backlogs and we need to make sure that we've got capacity in local government to deal with such backlogs. There's a survey that we carried out a few years ago to just get a sense of the ability of local government, especially the metropolitan municipalities, the cities, to be able to implement the National Land Transport Act, showed that half of them are not able to do so. They rated themselves below 5 out of 10. And only one of the cities rated themselves 10 out of 10. And the number one reason they cited as being unable to implement the National Land Transport Act is that they don't have the technical capability. That's about 40 to 50%. And then the other reason was that they don't have the financial resources to implement. And then the last biggest reason was around intergovernmental relations, dependency on other spheres of government to be able to do what they need to do.
I would think Cape Town would be one city that would absolutely have the money and the technical skills to do this. I mean, surely, if Cape Town can't do it, then no one can do it, if you see what I mean. I mean, Cape Town's quite a rich city. I would like to think they have the technical ability.
Absolutely. And I think the fixation, I think the City of Cape Town's fixation on things like quantity of taxis as opposed to quality of services, we need to do away with such. That's a legacy of the past. That's how we used to approach transport in the 80s. It was about quantity. It was about how many taxis you have, regulate that. We need to move more towards the quality of services. We need to work closely with the minibus taxi operators, of course, civil society, to make sure that the services that we provide are of quality. The same way we approach the IPPs, independent power producers, that is the same way we need to approach the issues of transport. Say as a city, this is what we want. This is what we want to buy from you as an industry. This is the quality that we want to buy from you. And as a business, the industry will certainly respond.
Doctor, thank you very much indeed. Dr. Mathetha Mokonyama from the CSIR Transport Systems and Operations.